Hey, Jasen Rice here for the next episode of LotParty. And again, what we try to do on this show is give you ways to stir things up in your lot, trying to get you to maximize sales, maximize gross. Most of the focus is going to be inventory management. We're also going to maybe even talk over internet management, internet process management, and basically what we can do to stir up our virtual lot. Again, a big lot party at the dealership is when we call in all the sales staff and all the porters to move the cars around on the lot, freshen things up for the customers, maybe get some cars better exposure on the physical lot. We want to do a lot party here on the virtual lot. So just a reminder, man, we load these up. You got them on Autotainment Network or Auto Dealer Live. And again, it's going to be 15 minutes before they go live at 3:30 Eastern Time every Thursday. So catch us at the 3:15 mark. Catch us going live there. These get loaded up on podcasts on theirs, or go to iTunes and download the LotParty podcast, because we have over 50 different little episodes in there, between 2 to 3 minute quick tips to 20-30 minute interviews to this particular LotParty now that we run 15-minute shows. So great content, everything that you could do to implement today to help you sell some more cars. So check that out. Lotpop, we do free inventory evaluations we do a virtual lot walk. Make sure photos, comments, descriptions, we can give that to you. Good content on the site too. So you got podcasts, you got video tips, Lotpop or LotParty, even Lotpop YouTube channel. Check that out. We got all the video content there too. But on this episode, one of the things I want to do, again, back there in the frame, we're going to do a dealer of the week. You can notice there's some plates on the walls here. A lot of those plates are coming from dealerships. I've traveled all over the country. Dealers are sending some plates in. Now this particular, it's a Green Group in Peoria, Illinois. You know, they got a bunch of stores. That's an old plate. But I remember one of their stores being a Ford store. It was one of the first poster childs for Auto when they actually took that store from selling about 70 units a month. They got over 250 units a month out of that Peoria, Illinois dealership. So they're one of the first dealerships to really take on that velocity. So shout outs to them. If you want to get your dealer plate up here on the board, we do have under lotpop.com contact information. I don't want to give all the big address information over here. Just go to lotpop.com under contact us. We're getting that data there. We'll have the address to ship that to us. We'll feature you up here on the board here, and maybe even set up an interview if it's something that you guys are interested in talking about, some of your best practices and impacts that you're making in your market. But what I want to talk about on this show is 'tis the season to thin out. A lot of dealerships are, starting to drop their inventory out and starting to wholesale cars. They're starting to just drop their pricing to move and clean up the inventory that didn't sell in the selling season. There's a lot of movement going on in the market right now. So I want to go over some of those best practices to help get your inventory moving. One of the things I try to do with dealerships, the ones I'm working with over time here, is having our inventory cleaned up in September going into this October, November selling season. I do have some dealers in the South, where especially some dealers in the Florida market where this is some of their prime season. What they call snowbirds are happen to come in. The people that live up north are starting to come down south, migrate down there for the warmer weather. So they start picking up a little bit. But still, the shopping habits online are still about the same. And it seems like a lot of dealerships this mid-October to mid-November have some good month left still of some selling season. I think, again, it's seasonal. You get the shoppers that need to do something before winter hits. Maybe they got an older car, or that they don't want in the winter months, and they want to freshen things up for the end of the year and so forth. And so you do have a little bit of time, because I help dealerships on their inventory, but also seen on the internet. And I'm seeing a lot of dealerships lead counts pick up from the second half of October to the second half of November, but it definitely drops off going into December, into the holiday season, and then picks back up for tax season. So a couple things. One, internet-wise, any leads that you're getting off your inventory right now, you need to be working those leads. They might not pull the trigger for the next 30, 40, 50 days, and they might not even pull the trigger till tax season, January, February. They might be shopping now. Leasing's coming up. A lot of leases or get terminated toward the end of the year, because again, a lot of new car pushes going out, good and leasing incentives to get people in cars. So people are shopping now to get out of those leases and so forth. So one, long-term follow-up. Make sure you're doing a 45, 60, 90-day follow-up process and earn these customers' business. Call, email, follow-up. That's one way to get this volume going. Make sure you're working those leads consistently for a long time. You might get a lead now, you're selling in January. So that's one. But two, as these leads in, or as you're dumping this inventory, we're seeing this market shift faster than I've ever seen it all year. We're talking about cars that we've priced a week, 2 weeks ago, and the market's already dropping 2 or 3%. So dealerships are dumping these cars, and it's hard to compete. Like I said, I had my dealers, we're trying to get cleaned up going into this October, November, December, hoping that we can be buyers. Because wholesale values are dropping too on a lot of segments. And so if I can be buying while the market's lower. The problem is the wholesale market might drop a bit, 1 or 2%, but the retail market's dropping that much or more. So all things being equal, I mean, you're buying 2% less, but you got to price them 2% less. I got a sample of a car up here where we're showing movement. And again, now this is a screenshot from Viato for a dealer, but what I wanted to point out here is the movement of pricing that the cars are doing, and they're doing it fast. So if you're pricing your car and not really making adjustments for 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road, you're going to miss these cars, and you're going to have a big aging problem in November, December range. But let me just show you here. We did a price change to 14 grand on the 22nd of September. You can see on the screen here, I'm going to pop it up. So I'm taking my eyes off, but you're going to be able to see my monitor here. And at 14 grand, we're at 91% of that market. And that was just the 22nd. That's a little bit over about a week and a half ago. 2 weeks ago would have been the 19th. So you could see that 91% price to market has gone from 92 to 94, 93, 94, 95. And here we are 10 days later, that market's already moved 4%. That's a 4% drop. So, and right now it's priced at 98%. So there's even been bigger drops in the market on this particular vehicle. But if you're not looking at cars every week and making adjustments, at least moving back with the market, if you're at 92% of the market or 8% below the market average, 10 days ago, again, you might be at 95, 96% of the market now, only 4% below the average market. You need to get back in there and at least shift with the market. But if the car's aging, you need to get more aggressive than the market. Don't just go back to the 92. You might have to go to 90 or 91 and get more aggressive to get this thing moving, depending on the age of the car. So I just use that as an example of how fast this market is moving right now. And so as you're working out of these aged cars, there's a few things that you're going to want to work on. One, if you're going to spiff these cars and move them, you need to let the sales staff know before and ahead of time. If you have any staffing meetings and you want to get people excited about particular cars, again, in Viato, they have a way, or any other tool you might have, we should have a way to compare how your car is priced to the market. So if you know you're competitively priced, or you know a particular car is getting a lot of SRPs and VDPs, a lot of clicks online, share that particular car. Obviously if it's a spiff car, share that car with your sales staff. Let them know, hey, I want you guys here's 5 cars for this meeting that we want to get moving. This particular car here, we're number 2 priced in the market. The only other car that's beating us has higher mileage. So when you get calls or emails, understand that this car, get excited. Let them know that this car's priced very aggressively and that you're getting a lot of attention on it. So prep the salespeople before they get these calls, before these people walk in the lot, so you can be able to hold the gross. Because we're dropping our pricing, our grosses are probably minimal as we're trying to move these cars. So we need to get the salespeople's confidence up that this car is priced competitively to the market. Not only that, get the confidence up that let the customer know they're getting a great deal, so they're not dropping their pricing and giving the car away even more than what you already aggressively priced. So one of the best practices would be print up 5 cars that you're concerned about that you've priced aggressively or they're getting a lot of attention. Print them up, give them to the sales staff, educate them how they're priced in the market, get them excited about it, so when you do get that customer in the door, they're already prepared and they're excited about showing that customer because they know it's a great deal. The other thing that you need to really look out for is a lot of dealerships right now are wholesaling cars. And I'll pull up a car with the dealership and it might be 60 days old or 65 days old, and I'll ask them, what are you doing with this car? And they say, well, I just wholesaled it. And I what'd you wholesale it for? And they might say 16 grand. Well, I can look at the last asking price was $18,000. So I'm like, why would you go and take 16 grand at the lane? We're at 18 grand online. They said, well, I've been number 1 in the market, or I was 20%, 80% of the market, or 85% of the market, and we weren't selling it. What else did you want me to do? Well, if you're at 18 grand online and you can only get 16 at the lane, quit looking at how you own that car to wholesale. Look at how you're pricing that car to wholesale. So again, if I'm at 18, I don't care. By this time at 60 days old, I'm going to throw away the market. I don't care if I'm number 10, number 1, if I'm at 90% or 70%. I don't care. If I've had that price there for the last 2 weeks and I'm not getting any traction on that car at 18 grand at 70% of the market, I'm going to look at my exit strategy of the lane. And if that's $16,000 is all I'm going to get at the lane, I would drop that 18 down to 17.5 or 17 or 16.5. Shoot, I'll go to 16. I might even go to 15.5, because by the time you pay for transportation, by the time you end up paying fees, you're going to pay more. Then you have no F&I opportunities, you have no trade opportunities. And so my biggest thing on aged inventory, and as you're trying to work out of this cars to slim this inventory down going in the winter months, is make sure that you're not just comparing your cost to the lane or wholesale and wholesaling and taking hits that way. Drop your pricing down and even get wholesale type numbers on these cars. So you get an opportunity at a trade, you get an F&I opportunity, get another customer on the door. Another thing to do on these type of cars, as you're quote unquote giving these cars away, pricing them competitively, the number 1 ranked car in the market, and the customer's getting a great deal, sell and try to get sell the customer on the fact that they're getting a great deal, validate it with them and say, hey, do me a favor in return, give me a great review, and get these reviews going on sites like autotradercars.com, DealerRater, Google. Get your reviews up, because this is the time, again, customers are going to be looking at reviews. My wife doesn't buy anything without looking at the reviews most of the time. So get good reviews, and that right there, if you're losing $500 to retail out of it, a good review is worth a couple $100. Okay, it is. It's going to be makes your car. If you're a 5-star and they're taking your car, comparing it to a dealer that only has a 4-star rating, and you're a little bit more, they're probably going to give you that shot because of your rating. So sell ratings, get the customer when they're getting that good deal. Say, hey folks, as you're waiting to get into finance, you got a great deal on here. Can you give me a great review? And that alone, that right there, again, will help make up some of that money. It's not going in your pocket, but it's definitely going to help you drive sales and help you move these cars. So I hope this is helpful. Again, what I want to do with this show is get you some good tips. People are wholesaling out. They're going to slim their inventory down, and you start ramping back up and going into December, into that selling season in January, February. But right now, new cars incentives are dropping. New car people, a lot of tension going on new cars. So used are slowing down in a lot of markets. Dealers are starting to drop their pricing. There's less shoppers in the market. A lot of trades coming in on these new cars, so there's more used cars for these customers to look at. So get competitive on these prices, get them cleaned up, but there's smart ways to do it. Again, get people excited at your store on the ones that you're moving, get them prepped, ready to go, get them excited when they talk to the customer, get them excited about holding the price because they're getting already a great deal. And then 2, make sure you're comparing your asking price online to what you're going to get at the lane, and keep moving that price down until the lane makes more sense. But again, the lane's not giving you F&I shot, and they're not getting you a trade opportunity, and they're not giving you an opportunity to get a review from a customer and help you get more satisfied customers on the road. So I hope this is helpful. Again, send us a plate. We'll feature you in our next show. Check out the Auto Dealer Live guys. They're coming on live right now, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.